In today's video, I'm going to show you guys my full live trading session. I'm going to take you guys through my entries, exits, and my entire thought process behind them, and overall keep you guys up to date on what I'm currently teaching my private team on how I trade. Good morning. We're starting on the Top Step Combine account yet again. Let's see if we can pass it today. We need to make like $1,500. Top-down analysis, like always, US 30, going down my watch list here. Overall downtrend, we finally had to push up off of this support resistance level right here, and hopefully if we start to show signs of rejections back down off of it like we have on previous days, I would be inclined to short it. Let's go down to the smaller time frames. There is no indication that this push up is gonna be stopping anytime soon, as you guys can see. This isn't a trend line, that was just like a visual for me to show the viewers that we're in overall downtrend, but I guess it could be used as a trend line too. But anyways, there's no rejection candles on the 1 hour to show that we are going to be rejecting off of this support resistance level like we have before, like right here. If we go down to the 5 minute, still no rejection candles. Maybe right here, this would be considered a FOMO entry as per my entry model, taking the entry off of the very first rejection candle off of a significant support resistance level, which this would be. So I am not going to take that. I'm going to take if another 5 minute candle closes red, I'd be inclined to take it. So yeah, that's the breakdown for US 30. Let's go to Euro USD because you can trade this market on Top Step as well, if you guys didn't know. So we finally are rejecting back down. We're assuming this downtrend here as well. Let's see if we start to show signs of rejections off of this big macro daily support or this 1 hour support that it's currently floating in right now. So I'm starting to see some kind of rejection right here off of this macro daily support. And now it's just floating within this 1 hour support level here. So let's go down to the 5 minutes, see what's happening. So if we come back down for another retest, so this could be considered the first rejection off of it, and then it should come down for a retest, and if it starts to show signs of rejections back up, I would be inclined to buy it to the top, something like that. So I'm looking for longs if it comes back down for another retest and shows signs of rejections back up. Solana, this would be for my CFD account. Let's go on the daily. What's going on here? Not much. On the 1 hour, we're just floating around this daily macro support. We're starting to show signs of rejections back up, but it seems like a lot of the move has already happened, especially since now we are floating around other smaller time frame support resistance level and consolidation zones. So it kind of seems like the move has already happened, so I'm not interested in Solana. Bitcoin is usually reflective of all the crypto markets. Whatever the other crypto markets are doing, it's usually because Bitcoin's doing that. So Bitcoin's raising on the 1 hour. We're having rejections off of this big macro daily support resistance level right here. So I'd be inclined for shorts maybe if we're showing signs of rejection. So yeah, this is kind of to my entry model. The first rejection would be here, coming back up for a retest, and now we got 2 candle closes to the downside. So this looks good for sells, but you can't trade this on Top Step, I don't think. So this would be something I take on my CFD account. So I might take that on my CFD account with Fusion Markets. Cable, see what's going on with Cable. Top-down analysis. We came back up to our prior place where we were rejecting off of, and we had another massive rejection, and then obviously a big rejection down here as well throughout the past day. Clearly, we're just kind of consolidating. It's just like a big consolidation day. But we are starting to show signs of rejections back down, and we have sold off of this area before, and you can trade this on Cable too, or you can trade this on Top Step too. So this might be interesting if we end up taking this trade. The thing I'd be waiting for though is since like the majority of the move has already happened and now we're floating in the midway point. So I wouldn't take any positions here. The only thing I can think of taking is there's a smaller time frame support resistance level here that we could be rejecting off of back up to the top. It's risky because we're in an overall downtrend, but if I do end up taking it, it would be a short bounce up, hoping for it to push up around here. Whoops. Looking for it to push up around where the red line is. It would be like a short, quick scalp, but I don't even think the contract size is big enough for FX pairs on Top Step for it to be even worth it to take this. So this would be like a risky setup on my CFD account with Fusion Markets, but I don't think I'm going to take that, so I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to wait for the bounce to happen. If it does, wait for signs of rejections back down, and then I would be interested in short positions on my CFD account. But for right now, we're kind of just waiting for, I'm going to send an alert there. What other trades was I interested in? We haven't looked at USD CAD yet. I'll set an alert on Bitcoin as well for right there. Euro USD, I'll send an alert for down here as well. US 30, not really showing any signs of anything. I'm going to send an alert for above where market is and then also below it. Let's check out USD CAD. On the daily, we're starting to show some kind of rejections back up off of this massive tank off. And usually what happens is after we finally get a rejection day candle close off of one of these big macro daily support resistance levels, is it'll come down. It'll either go for like a stop loss hunt and come all the way down, or somewhere in here, and then it'll shoot back up. So it looks like it's coming down for that right now. The next thing we would have to be looking for is going on the smaller time frames and trying to time when it's going to come back up at. So on the smaller time frames, we have 1 hour support resistance levels right here, clearly. This could be an interesting area to long it if it does start to show signs that it's going to continue pushing back up. So on the 5 minute, we're just consolidating right now. It's trying to figure out where it's going to go. So I'm not really interested in this right now, but I'll put an alert below it and then also above it as well. And then let's move on. US 30 hit one of my alerts. So this looks very healthy for sells. So if this 5 minute candle closes red, it seems like most of the move is getting away from us, but fuck it, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to put a contract in on the Top Step account if this candle closes red, because this looks pretty healthy, especially since we had big tank off here. I'm just afraid that this is the FOMO entry because this is the first rejection, and usually I like to wait for a retest and then more rejections off of it, and then that's when I would enter. But this is the FOMO entry, so I'm going to enter off the FOMO entry for you guys, and I'm going to enter right now pretty much, and then this is going to be the position, something like that, depending on how much I'm risking. I'm just going to do one contract. So I sold, risking like $700, and then how much do I need to make? I need to make like $1,700. So that's the position. Obviously if we get stopped out, I'm still short bias, so I'm going to be looking for the next area of rejection if we do get stopped out. Like I said, this is the FOMO entry. I usually wait for the retest and then more signs of rejections back down, so it's possible that we wait for that. But obviously sometimes with my entry model, the FOMO entry does work out, and sometimes waiting for the retest never happens. And if you would have taken the FOMO entry, you would have taken like the correct move down. So that's what I am doing right now. So my stop loss or my take profit is like down here. I don't know if I'll hold it for that long. If we continue dropping, and we get confirmations that we're continuing on the selling pressure, I'm going to add to the position to maximize the overall move like we did the other day. But now it's pretty much we just wait to see what happens with this trade, and if it continues dropping, I'm obviously going to adjust my risk. And if we go into a significant amount of profit, like around here, maybe it's possible I even bring my risk to break even or a couple $100 into profit. So now it's just a waiting game. Okay, so if this next 5-minute candle closes green, which it seems like it is, if you were conservative, I would say close it, because it seems like the FOMO entry isn't going to be the first drop of what we're looking for, and not the impulsive drop. So if you're conservative, I would say exit the trade and then wait for the next rejection area. But if this green candle doesn't close green above these most recent highs, like it didn't, I'm personally not going to be closing it. I would much rather wait to see what this next 5-minute candle does. But if this next 5-minute candle closes green above these most recent highs, then I would be inclined to exit the trade and then wait for the next rejection zone. So just waiting to see what happens over the course of this next 5 minutes. I'm holding until we get like a full candle close with the body above these most recent highs, because I still think there's potential that this is the second retest and then it's going to start to show signs of rejections back down. But hopefully it shows us after this 5-minute candle close if it's going to continue pushing up or come back down. So hopefully we continue on this little bit of selling pressure that we found at the most recent highs that we were currently at, and hopefully it continues pushing back down. It kind of seems like all volatility has died down as soon as I entered. It kind of makes sense because for me, New York open is 7:30 a.m. and it's currently like 9:15, so that's 2 hours before that. But hopefully volatility picks up just so I'm not sitting here watching this trade. So it seems like Euro USD would have been the better position. Obviously, it didn't come down to where I wanted it to before I entered. It didn't hit my alert, but it did assume the overall position. And like this is a clear example when the FOMO entry works, because we could have entered off of this first rejection right here, and clearly the FOMO entry would have been working here because the full retest didn't happen unless you considered this small little wick right here as a retest. But either way, the FOMO entry would have worked on the Euro USD trade. That's unfortunate that we missed that. Let's go check out the other markets. Solana's kind of dropping down. Bitcoin is dropping down a little bit as well. Cable, pretty much a mirror of Euro USD. So it's pushing up a little bit, but not much going on there. USD CAD, it finally dropped out of this zone that we had marked out, but it needs to start to show signs of rejection somewhere in this big box right here for me to be interested in longs. But US 30, the trade we are in on the Top Step account, isn't really moving. I was hoping for like an impulsive move down, especially since how strong the rejection was here. But it seems like it's just trying to figure out if it's going to continue pushing up or continue pushing down, which is kind of unfortunate because it is. I like quick impulsive moves when it comes to like scalping, especially if I'm doing like a Top Step account. This is my first time ever doing a Top Step account. This is like my 5th time ever trading futures actually, because I'm mainly CFDs and Forex. So just learning the platform, like the Top Step X platform, has been a learning curve, kind of. Just learning like the contract size as opposed to like lot sizes. But either way, I did not like sitting in scalps for too long for it to figure out what it's doing, because that just exposes you to like weird micro price movements. Like it could be like, if it's not like an impulsive move down like which I was hoping like that, it could be you would have to deal with micro price like movements being at choppy before it finally either picks to go up or it picks to finally drop down. And obviously this choppiness, if it's not impulsively moving into your analysis, it exposes you to the risk of it stopping you out before it finally picks a direction, whether into your analysis or against it. So that's why I don't really like wading through this little choppiness, just because it exposes you to more risk. we still haven't moved at all. We're kind of chopping down. Like, we have yet to break these highs right here, but like, I don't know. If we don't get any sort of move down into my analysis, I might just cut the trade just because it's not moving. There's not really volatility going on right now. But it seems like we're starting to get a bit of buying pressure back up, and hopefully it finds some kind of support resistance level again, and then it flips the momentum, and then the momentum starts driving us into my analysis. Because if that doesn't happen, I'm just gonna cut the trade. I don't want to sit here and watch choppiness for an hour or two. That's not really why I like scalping. I would much rather get like a quick impulsive move like these past 20 minutes, like on these green candles right here. So let's see what happens. So this might be the flip I was talking about, and if the momentum doesn't continue down to break out of these little 5-minute support resistance levels right here, it's possible that I cut the trade, just because I don't want to sit around and watch this chop around for the next hour before it picks a direction. And it's possible that in doing so, when it chops around, it could come up here, stop me out, and then continue on with the downtrend. So let's see if this 5-minute candle is the momentum we need to start off the selling, and see if it fills this imbalance right here. So it looks like the selling pressure we were waiting for is finally starting to happen. Now we just wait to see how far it's going to be pushing down. Since we had such trouble breaking out of this little 5-minute support level right here, you can only assume that it's going to be used as some kind of resistance on the way back up. And even if we do get a bounce, this will be like our safety net before it continues pushing back up, if it decides to flip on us. So if you were a conservative trader, I would say move your stops to break even, or even just above this little 5-minute support level that we've respected so much the past little bit. Because like I said, you would only assume that it would take up some buying pressure to break through it like it did on the downside. I think I'm going to be risky and add another contract. I'm going to reduce my risk a bit so that we're still risking the same amount. And this way I don't really need to hold it all the way down there to get to my 1700 mark. It could be risky because it could flip up. It could bounce up off of one of these support resistance levels right here. Bounce up, stop us out. Could be risky, but it's also a payoff because I don't have to hold it all the way down here to get to my $1,700 mark. I only have to hold it down to these lows now, right here. Like I said, it's risky to scale in, especially when there's not much volatility right now. But the reason why I'm doing it is because we had a significant selling candle outside of this little 5-minute support resistance level. And we have yet to have another green candle close. But if we do end up getting a green candle close somewhere in here, then it's possible that I'd take off all of the positions if we are in profit over like $500-ish. Hopefully this candle does a big move down like the last 5-minute candle. We had another 5-minute candle close red. If I was risky, I would enter in another contract, but honestly, I'm not feeling that risky right now, especially since we are continuing on the momentum. Or should I? I don't know. Maybe I should. Content reasons. No, I'm not. I won't, even though it would make us hit the $1,700 mark a lot quicker. So I'm just going to ride this out. Hopefully it rages down and hits take profit. So I closed the position when I seen it hit 53,000, but clearly we're $30 off. So I want to see if this will be a problem or not. I'm sure I'm going to have to make that $30, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to check the dashboard and see what's going on. That's unfortunate. I closed the trade right when I seen it cross the $53,000 mark, and then it's like when I closed the position, it must have bounced up really quick because it brought us back up to 970. I'm gonna go check out my dashboard. So here's my dashboard. I don't really know how this works because I'd never traded Top Step before. Like I said, this is only like my 5th day ever trading it. But apparently my account balance is 673, even though my closed P&L is 970. I don't know what that means. I think because of I made $1,600 today, the additional profit I need is 288. And I think that's why so I should have closed it below $1,500 profit, which doesn't really make sense. So now I need to make an additional $288 profit to satisfy the consistency target, which is, I think that's the reason why. So I need to make like $300 more. So that's not a problem. Shouldn't be anyways, but I thought that definitely would have made me pass the combine, the last trade. But I guess I was dumb to hold the trade into more profit than $1,500, I guess. Because apparently that's an issue. Anyways, tomorrow will be the day that I try to pass this. I need to make $300 more apparently, because I made more than $1,500, which is 50% of the profit target, which is kind of BS, but it is what it is. They have to have safety measures, even though I feel like there's enough data on my account that they should know that I'm not gambling, but it is what it is. We'll get that $300 tomorrow, or we'll lose more and then we'll have to continue trading. I don't know. We'll see. I could probably enter in sells right here. It's risky, but maybe I will, just for the content reasons, since we're already here. I could enter in sells right here and then just wait. I don't know. It's risky as fuck, though. I don't really want to. I do not really want to, but maybe I will. Maybe I will. If we don't show any signs of a bounce here, then maybe I will enter in sells. Or maybe if we get a bounce back up like to here, maybe I'll enter in a sell quick and then see if I can get that $300. Otherwise, I'll just risk like $200. I'll do one contract and risk like $200 to $300 to make $200 to $300, just to see if I can satisfy that $300 that I need to make, apparently. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a bounce up here, and then maybe I'll sell it. So we're getting a bit of a bounce. Okay, I'm in. So I'm gonna risk like $200. This is a super dumb trade. I wouldn't suggest anybody do this. Oh wait, it's on the day, so this is just gonna be extending it, right? This is just gonna be extending my profit because it's on the day. Because I'm making my highest day higher. So I'm going to close this. So now my day P&L is $1,700. And like, originally we should be passing the combine right now. But since my highest day, I think I just extended the consistency thing. So now I'm going to have to trade even more. So let's see. Let's go back to my dashboard. Fuck, this shit's stupid, dude. Yeah, dude, I just fucking extended it. So additional profit needed is $500 because I just added on P&L to my best day. So instead of having to make an extra $300, now I need to make an extra $500. So probably tomorrow, once the broker times reset, I will have to keep on trading or whatever to satisfy that. I need to make $500 tomorrow. Damn, fuck, I'm so stupid. Why the hell did I do that? Anyways, I don't think there's any more trading to be done today. Like, we missed the Euro USD trade. I should have taken this trade on my CFD account. Clearly, it would have made us like a couple thousand. The GU trade didn't really come up where I wanted it to, but it did eventually tank off. So yeah, all the moves for the day are pretty much done. So I'm done trading for the day. It's unfortunate I didn't take any trades on my live CFD account to make actual money, but it goes to show, like, if I do make it onto the funded account for Top Step, that I know that I can make $1,400 or more on their live account. But yeah, tomorrow I'm stupid. I just extended the additional profit I needed to satisfy the consistency target. So we will see if I can make that $520 tomorrow, or lose money. We'll see. Hopefully it goes good, and hopefully we pass it tomorrow. Anyways, if you guys like this type of video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And then also, if you guys want to take these trades with me live, join my Discord.